how has the game changed?
How has it not changed, I think, is really the question.
Yeah.
Like, we've been fans of Survivor since it started. And so we watch religiously on Wednesday nights. And watching it, though, in the last, and I can't even think of, how many of the last seasons, like, where I'm watching and my head hurts because I can't. It used to be like, oh, I can keep it straight. Like, okay, that's that tribe. And okay, they have 2 idols over there. And now I'm like, wait, okay. They have an advantage, and that advantage does what? Wait, and it's good for 3 tribals, and then this, and wait, what's the name? Like, it's moving, and the way that alliances shift, it's different. I don't know how that's going to play out for season 40, if it's going to be the same
because you
or
have
not.
all that knowledge.
Right.
Is it going to change the way you're going to play the game? Has your game evolved?
I don't know, because here, there's so many players that are out here that I've already seen. They've had the opportunity to play multiple times, and at least one of them I know can change their game, and has changed it very successfully. So I don't know, because I think, I'm kind of a creature of habit, but I also know I have to adapt out here. And so it's kind of get with the program.
Yeah.
So if the game goes fast, I've got to move fast. If alliances are changing, I've got to be observant of that. So I think there's a part of my game that's not going to change, but it's going to have to change, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the season you were in, you went to every single tribal council. Right. You're like the ultimate survivor, the ultimate underdog, right?
I think so. So hopefully hopefully they think I suck, and so they won't be worried about me because she went to every tribal council. But, on the other hand, that's a big threat. It's like, underdog that went to every single tribal council.
Yeah.
And, that's a nice thing to have on my resume. But there are a lot of other players out here that have a lot longer resumes, which hopefully will be in my favor as the season goes on.
Now, going back, when you were playing the game, I mean, you're so fit right now. You're looking amazing.
You.
Do you remember the deprivation that you went through mentally and physically? And
I do.
How would you describe that experience?
It's so hard to translate it, because unless you experience it, you almost don't get it. But I remember trying to describe to people by the end of the game, our beach didn't have a very significant incline. Like, it was just like a little bit of an incline. And I remember walking down, like, one of my jobs was always to go down and wash out the pots, and I would kind of do it. And I just remember walking down there, and I would get down and I would wash them, and I would turn around and I would have the pots in my hand, and I would just look, and it was like 20 yards maybe, like, not, I don't even know how far. And it would just be like climbing a mountain, because you were so physically exhausted. And I didn't lose that much weight out there, but you're dehydrated and you're losing muscle, mass. And so you're not thinking as straight as you normally do. And so I'm trying to kind of wrap my head around that out here already.
What is the day where you feel like you want to give up?
I remember the day that I wanted to get, like, it was a storm. It was one of the, I think you go through phases in the game, and I think it's like you get through that first week. That first week is always really hard.
Yeah.
We even talked about this before we left home. Like, okay, the first week you're going to be fine. When you hit the end of that first week, that's going to be when, like, things get real. And it's like, okay, you're really out here. And then you get through that. And so it goes in phases. But I think a lot of it will depend on how deprived we are. I think a lot of it, for me, depends on weather. In the Philippines, like, this is beautiful. I can take heat all day long. Like, I don't know. It's like a solar thing. Like,
You
from
feed off of
Iowa.
it.
Yeah, so I'm from Iowa. We don't get sun all winter.
Yeah.
So this is like heaven. But if it starts raining for another 18 days, like it did in the Philippines, that's pretty darn demoralizing.
Yeah.
And there were several points, where it's like, I can't go back to tribal again. Like, I can't do it. And then you sit and you pause and you go, there's no quit out here. Like, it's go big or go home. So, and I'm not going home.
So what made you say yes this time around?
I think because you can't say no.
You can't say no.
You can't say no. I'm sure there are reasons why people would say no. But even my husband, like, ever since the first time I ever even got a possible call to come back, he's like, why say no? Don't say no until you have to. And so we've kind of wrapped our brain around, hey, if the opportunity ever arises again, absolutely. We're in. Like, there was no like, okay, when do you need me on a plane? And okay, what do I have to do? And our family literally went into planning mode of, how do I get the practice shut down? Like, it was command central in our office. I'm old school, so I have like a written calendar, and I had the envelopes, like all the graduation envelopes, and okay, mail this letter for Father's Day, and here's this, or all like, it's like set up, and we went through kind of what everybody's job was, while they were gone, and who's going to take care of the dog that we just adopted and left. but you have to. It doesn't matter if you've won the game.
Right.
There's so much more to get. I mean, any season, there's so much more to get out of this. Like a new place. Like, again, I've never been to Fiji. Again, I'm from Iowa.
Right.
I've never been, certainly had never been to the Philippines. Never been to Fiji. Probably wouldn't have been like, hey, I think for vacation I'll just go to Fiji. You know, now I would.
So you live for the experience.
I do, absolutely. Like the money was always, I mean, the money is always a driver. I mean, definitely. Like I never came out the first time thinking, I don't care if I win. It's like, heck no, like this is my job. Like while I'm out here, my practice is closed, so this is my job. And it begins on day 1, and it doesn't end until day 39. So I'm here to win. But if I don't, like I'm gonna empty my tank and I'm gonna take home like every experience I can, whether or not it's the experience of being, no, it's not gonna happen, first out.
Yeah.
Or if it's the experience of being on the jury, or if it's the experience of a different challenge. I mean, there's just so much more you can get out of this.
Are you looking forward to the strategy and evolving that game for you? Are you sneaky?
I would like to think I'm sneaky, but I think I suck. I'm a crappy
you're
liar.
So sweet right now. I'm like,
I'm a crappy liar. Like I'm just not I'm not a good liar.
Yeah.
And so if I can pair up with someone who's sneaky, then that could work, right? Like, because then it's like, you know, hey, we got a cop out here. Like, you know, she's pretty darn sneaky. We've got Sandra out here. Like, do I want to let Sandra get all the way to the end? No. But would I like to use her for a really long time? Absolutely, because she's pretty consistent with her game. So I may not be super sneaky and a really crappy liar, but I think I'll use that in my favor. Like, hey, but I can be loyal. I can be trustworthy. I can be a good follower. You want to lead? That's fine. I'll follow until I need to take over. So I don't, no.
aside from you winning $1 million, who else has the best winning game?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Like, because everybody's played differently. Like, just sitting with the women that I sit with, you know, those are the faces that come to mind, you know, right now. Like, I think about, like, Kim Spradlin. Kim was out in the field. I think her game was finishing up right before mine started. And I think of how socially, like, not only socially, but she was incredibly fit. Like, she's super athletic, or at least in the game. She was incredibly athletic. So, like, looking at how she played the game and how it was just like, oh my gosh, like, she's someone that I think can look at you and smile and be sweet, and she's totally lying to you. And, you know, and you just get sucked in, like, to those little doe eyes, you know? It's like, oh. So I think, like, she plays a great game, but there are just so many that play it. It's hard to pick. It's just really hard to narrow it down.
Good luck.
I hope, man. I could be screwed or it could be okay, right?
You're gonna be good.
Like,
I love the hair.
Oh my gosh. It's gonna get crazier as it goes on. The dirtier it gets, the crazier it'll be.
The crazier it's gonna get. The crazier the experience at 39 days.
Right. So it'll go hand in hand, right? It's all good.